Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're going deep today, eSports.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking all about competitive gaming, really trying to get a grasp on what's going on. We've got research articles, news, all sorts of stuff. And
It's a lot to cover.
yeah, it really is. You ready to just in?
Let's do it.
Okay, so first of all, the sheer scale of esports these days is incredible. The global market hit $1.6 billion this year.
1.6 billion. That's bigger than like the box office.
Isn't that crazy?
It's huge. And that's just the start. I mean, analysts are saying it could reach 8.2 billion by 2032. Some even say as high as 13.7.
That's wild.
It is.
And think about this. By 2025, they're expecting over 640 million viewers worldwide.
That's everyone in North and South America combined, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a massive global audience.
Absolutely.
But it's not just about the big names in, League of Legends and Counter-Strike.
Right, it's changing.
Things are changing.
Mobile esports is really taking off. Mobile Legends. Bang Bang, have you heard of that one?
I have.
Their M6 World Championship had over 4 million peak viewers. That's insane.
More than some traditional sporting events.
Yeah.
4 million viewers for a mobile game tournament.
Mobile is just so accessible. Almost everyone has a smartphone these days.
True.
Makes it really easy to watch and play no matter where you are. And this is especially true in places like the Philippines.
Oh, right. I did see something about a Filipino team winning a big Mobile Legends tournament.
Yeah, Fnatic, Own NEC, PH, they won the whole thing.
Wow.
They're like celebrities over there.
Really?
And the Philippines is actually hosting more and more events now, too, like the eFIBA Season 3 World Finals. You know, eFIBA.
No.
It's esports basketball.
So they're going all in on esports.
Totally.
That's pretty amazing.
And speaking of changes, the Esports World Cup 2025 is adding some interesting games.
Oh, like what?
Mobile Legends, Bang Bang is in for one.
Okay, I could see that happening.
But get this, they're adding chess.
Wait, chess. The board game?
Yes.
Wow.
It's officially an esport.
I never thought I'd see the day.
They even have Magnus Carlsen, you know him.
Oh, yeah.
The world chess champion. He's like their ambassador. It's going to be interesting to see how this changes the competitive chess scene,
For sure. I mean, chess has always been seen as such a traditional game.
Total.
This is really shaking things up.
It is. It's really expanding what people think of as competitive gaming. And that's not all that's changing. It's not just about the games anymore.
What do you mean?
We're talking about money, too. It's a huge business.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There's the sponsorships and media rights and all that.
Right. But there's also esports betting.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Are people actually betting on these matches?
Big time.
Wow.
BET even partnered with TurboStars to launch a whole esports betting platform.
Really?
It's becoming a big deal.
So it's going mainstream, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not all sunshine and roses.
What do you mean?
There are some big challenges, too. One of the biggest is player burnout. Well, these esports athletes, they're training and competing at such high levels. The pressure is intense, and it can take a toll.
I guess that makes sense. They're putting in just as much work as traditional athletes.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just the physical strain either. It's the mental stress, too. We're seeing more and more players struggling with anxiety, depression, even exhaustion.
That's really concerning. I mean, these are incredibly talented and dedicated individuals. It would be awful to see them burning out so young.
Right. Luckily, there's growing awareness of this problem. Teams and organizations are beginning to implement programs to help players manage the stress and prevent burnout.
That's good to hear. So they're taking player well-being seriously.
They're starting to.
Yeah.
But it's not the only challenge.
What else is there?
Well, the esports scene is still relatively new, and there's a lack of standardized regulations, which, leads to some problems.
Like what?
Well, things like inconsistent rules across tournaments, unclear contract enforcement. Basically, there's not a lot of structure, which can create problems for everyone involved.
So it's kind of chaotic right now.
A little bit, yeah, like the Wild West. But thankfully, there's a movement towards establishing some kind of industry-wide standards.
Okay.
Yeah, the International Esports Federation, or IESF, they're working on creating frameworks for governance, player representation, ethical conduct, all that stuff.
So trying to create some order out of the chaos.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's important because it will benefit everyone in the long run.
Makes sense. So we've got burnout and lack of regulation. What other big challenges are they facing?
Well, another big one is the role of gambling. We talked about esports betting earlier.
Right.
But with all that money flowing in, there are concerns about match fixing.
Oh, that's a problem.
It is, because it could really hurt the integrity of the sport if people start thinking the matches are rigged.
Yeah, that would be bad.
The Esports Integrity Coalition, or ESIC, they're working to combat match fixing. educating players and teams about the risks, and trying to prevent it from happening in the first place.
So they're taking it seriously?
They have to. Protecting the integrity of the sport is crucial for its long-term success.
Wow, we covered a lot. The booming market, the challenges. It's been a roller coaster. So where do we go from here?
Well, there's a lot more to explore. And we're going to get into some exciting trends in the next part of our deep dive.
All right, sounds good. Stick around, everyone. We're just getting started.
Welcome back, everyone. We're picking up our deep dive right where we left off, but
there's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, so much is happening with esports.
Yep.
We're seeing some really interesting things starting to happen. One thing is this blurring of the lines between esports and traditional sports.
Oh, really? Like, what do you mean?
Well, more and more we're seeing these major sports leagues investing in esports, like the NBA, for example.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
They've got their NBA 2K league, professional gamers competing in, the basketball video game.
Right. Do you think that's good for esports, having these big leagues getting involved?
It's hard to say, honestly. It's a bit of a double-edged sword. Well, on the one hand, it could bring more exposure to esports, a wider audience.
Yeah, that makes sense.
More money coming in. But on the other hand, some people worry it could change the culture of esports,
Right. Lose that kind of grassroots feel.
Exactly. Or that these traditional sports leagues will end up dominating the scene. It's a delicate balance.
It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, for sure. Another really exciting trend, I think, is VR and AR, virtual reality and augmented reality.
Right.
We touched on this earlier, but it's worth emphasizing how transformative this could be for esports. Like, imagine watching a League of Legends match from inside the game.
Whoa.
Like you're actually there.
That would be insane.
Right. Dodging spells alongside your favorite champion. VR and AR have the potential to create these super immersive experiences. It's not just about watching either.
Whoa.
It could revolutionize training and coaching too. Imagine players practicing in these realistic virtual environments.
Wow. It's like the holodeck from Star Trek.
Exactly. You could practice against virtual opponents, simulate different scenarios.
Get feedback from coaches all in VR.
Yeah, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. As the tech improves, we're going to see some mind-blowing stuff. And then there's AI, artificial intelligence. We're already seeing it used in some really cool ways.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, some games use AI to adjust the difficulty level, to keep things challenging but not too frustrating for the player.
Oh, that's smart.
Right. Others use it to create more realistic opponents, so you feel like you're playing against an actual person.
Yeah.
But the potential goes way beyond that. Think about AI commentators providing real-time analysis tailored to you.
Wow.
AI-generated highlight reels capturing the best moments of a match.
That's cool.
For players, there could be personalized AI coaches that analyze their strengths and weaknesses, create training programs, even simulate matches against specific opponents.
It's like having a personal trainer, but for esports.
Exactly. And maybe one day we'll see AI creating entirely new esports games that are constantly evolving and adapting.
That would be wild.
AI has the potential to be this incredible creative force shaping the future of gaming. And this is all happening as the esports audience continues to grow.
Right. 640 million viewers by 2025. Crazy. Why do you think it's growing so fast?
A few reasons. First of all, it's incredibly accessible. You don't need any fancy equipment, just a computer or a smartphone and internet access.
Yeah.
And that makes it really popular in places where maybe traditional sports aren't as accessible, and it's super entertaining to watch.
For sure.
These matches are intense. You've got skilled players, dramatic moments, high stakes, and the production value is incredible. Professional commentators, awesome visuals, music. It's not just about the games, it's the whole experience.
Yeah, you're right. It's a spectacle.
Exactly. And that's another reason it's becoming more mainstream. It's not just for hardcore gamers anymore. And there's also this really strong sense of community.
Oh, yeah. The fans are amazing.
They are. Players connect with each other. Fans connect with each other. It's a global community, you know? And it's not just about watching the matches either.
What else is it about?
Well, the fans are creating content too. You see it everywhere. Memes, fan art, cosplay. It's incredible.
Yeah. Each game has its own subculture almost.
Exactly. And that fan-generated content is so important for the esports ecosystem. It promotes the sport, engages new audiences, and strengthens that sense of community.
It's pretty awesome to see. So we've got the players, the fans, the communities.
Yeah.
What does all this mean for the bigger picture?
Yeah.
You know, how is esports impacting society as a whole?
It's a good question, and honestly, it's hard to say because it's still early days, but we're already seeing some interesting things happening. For one, esports is challenging our definition of what a sport is.
Right.
Is it physical? Not in the traditional sense, but it requires incredible skill strategy, mental focus, a different kind of athleticism, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And the way we watch esports is changing too. We're seeing events in these massive stadiums, broadcast on TV. It's becoming more mainstream.
Like a real sport.
Exactly. And that means more opportunities for everyone involved. More money, higher stakes. And it's having an impact on other industries too, like education technology, even healthcare.
Really?
Yeah, schools are recognizing the value of esports programs, not just for fun, but as pathways to careers in STEM fields, marketing, all sorts of things.
Oh, wow.
Esports is pushing the boundaries of technology too.
Yeah.
Like with graphics processing, AI development, it's really exciting.
It is. I'm excited to see where it all goes from here. What about you?
I'm just curious to see how it continues to evolve. I mean, who knows? Maybe one day we'll see esports in the Olympics.
That would be amazing.
Right. Or esports on the moon.
Cool.
Maybe not that far, but you know what I mean? The possibilities are endless.
I love that. Esports has the potential to change the world in so many ways.
It really does. It's an incredible journey to be a part of.
Well said. Okay, so we've talked about the growth, the tech, the challenges, the opportunities, the impact. It's clear that esports is here to stay,
It is.
and it's only going to get bigger.
And the best part is that anyone can be a part of it. Whether you're a player, a fan, a content creator, or just curious, there's a place for you.
That's a great point. So what role will you play in the future of esports? Think about it.
Think about it.
Welcome back, everyone. We've covered a lot of ground in our esports deep dive, the growth, the tech, the challenges, the opportunities. But
now it's time to talk about the people.
right, the players, the fans, the community.
The heart of esports.
Exactly. And speaking of the players, it's amazing to see how esports has created this new kind of celebrity.
The esports athlete.
Yeah. These players are like rock stars.
They are. Millions of fans idolized, lucrative sponsorships. Their faces are everywhere. There are entire news outlets dedicated to covering their every move.
It's crazy to think about someone becoming a celebrity for playing video games.
I know, right?
But it makes sense, I guess, when you think about how huge esports has become.
It does, but this level of fame comes with its own set of challenges, too.
No, yeah, for sure.
These players are constantly under pressure to perform. They're in the public eye all the time, scrutinized by fans, sponsors, teammates, even their families.
That's got to be tough, especially for young players.
It is, and the industry is starting to recognize that. There are more and more resources available now to help players deal with the pressure and the stress.
Like mental health support and coaching.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's important to make sure these players are taking care of themselves.
Yeah, because even though it's different from traditional sports in a lot of ways, the pressure to perform is still there.
Absolutely. But one thing that I think sets esports apart is the sense of community.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The players and the fans are so passionate and supportive.
They really are. It's a very inclusive culture.
It is, and I think the online nature of esports makes it easy for people to connect with each other.
Right, no matter where they are in the world.
Exactly. And a lot of the games require teamwork and collaboration, so that naturally leads to players bonding with each other.
Makes sense. And the fans are really something else.
Wow.
I mean, you see it all over the internet. The memes, the fan art, the cosplay.
It's amazing.
Each game has its own little subculture.
It does, and that's part of what makes esports so special. It's not just about watching the matches, it's about being a part of that subculture.
Right. Creating content, connecting with other fans.
Exactly. And that fan-generated content is so important for the growth of esports. It helps to promote the sport, engage new audiences, and strengthen those communities.
It's like this incredible cycle of passion and creativity.
It is.
So we've got the stars, the fans, the culture, the content. What does all this mean for the bigger picture? How is esports impacting society as a whole?
Well, that's a big question.
Yeah.
Esports is still pretty young, but we're already seeing some really interesting things happening.
Like what?
Well, for starters, esports is challenging our very definition of sport.
How so?
Well, is it a physical activity? Not in the traditional sense.
Right.
But it requires incredible skill strategy, reflexes, mental stamina.
It's a different kind of athleticism?
Exactly. And the way we consume esports is changing too. It's not just happening in basements and computer labs anymore.
Right.
We're seeing huge events in stadiums, broadcast on TV. It's becoming mainstream.
Like a real sport.
Exactly. And with that mainstream acceptance comes more opportunities, more money, higher stakes. It's becoming a massive industry.
It's incredible how fast it's all happened.
It is. Just a few years ago, esports was this niche hobby, and now it's this global phenomenon.
It really is. And it's changing the way we think about entertainment technology competition.
It is. And as we talked about earlier, it's having a ripple effect on other industries too. Education, technology, healthcare.
It's really exciting to think about.
It is.
Yeah.
What are you most excited to see in the next few years?
It's a good question. I don't know. It's all so exciting.
I know, right? Maybe we'll see esports in the Olympics one day.
Or esports tournaments on the moon.
Maybe. Who knows? The possibilities are endless.
That's what I love about it. Esports has the potential to change the world in so many ways.
It really does. It's an incredible journey to be a part of.
Well said. So we've explored a lot in this deep dive, the history, the trends, the challenges, the potential. But one thing is clear. Esports is here to stay.
It is.
And it's only going to get bigger and more exciting.
And anyone can be a part of it, whether you're a player, a fan, a content creator, or just curious. There's a place for everyone.
That's a great message to end on. So to all of you listening out there, what role will you play in the future of esports?
Think about it.
It's a world full of excitement, opportunity, and endless possibilities. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of esports.
Game on.
Until next time, keep learning, stay curious, and game on.